What do you mean you spilt all your water on your PC?
It landed on my case, but like didn't go down the whole of my fan.
Oh, we are live again. We have gone back to the coverage from TFTV of the beta LAN in Lithuania in Kaunas, and it's powered by Zowie Gear, the amazing sponsors that Hugh's managed to get, who are dishing out some amazing prizes as well in partnership with GG Well Played. We are on the server right now. I hope you're sufficiently hyped by the previous games and those frag movies and trailers that we had for you. Both teams have their 6 in the server and they are going to be going live pretty quickly. So we have an opportunity here just to run through A, what they're playing for, and B, the rosters if we have the time. These teams are playing for the first prize, which is going to be 6 Zowie EC2 Evo Black Mice and 60% of the cash prize and an in-game medal that says you came first at Beta LAN, you are the best. It doesn't actually say that you are the best bit, but that is implied. Everybody who sees it will know. The team that doesn't win this fixture has, by virtue of knocking everybody else out of the tournament, won themselves the second prize, which is 2 Zowie Command white cable management devices and 30% of the cash prize as well, along with some silver medals saying you are almost the best but not quite the best. And the team 403 have won themselves as well 6 Zowie NCM blue mouse mats and 10% of the cash prize, which currently stands at somewhere around 230 euros. So it's a fairly sizable hardware and cash pot, plus some awesome medals as well. And big props to Zowie for supporting this event. They are a brilliant sponsor because not only do they really communicate incredibly well with the TF2 community and support us in all of these different events, but their hardware is actually really good as well, so we don't have to try and peddle some rubbish just because people are sponsoring us. We are genuinely peddling decent stuff here. We are sponsoring, we are not sponsoring, we're like, we're promoting their products, but their products are worth promoting. That's the best part about having Zowie sponsor these kind of tournaments. Their mice and equipment and general hardware is just pretty sick. One of the teams is readying up, so I think we need to blast through the rosters. Just if you haven't caught any of this, this is going to be the grand final between Mike+5 and IsF. The roster from Mike+5 is going to contain Admirable on Medic, Mike on Demoman, that is MGE Mike of Epsilon fame, Croce and Evoke on the Soldiers, Evoke actually on the Pocket Roll, Croce on Roma, the Scouts, Rock and Nuki. The opposing team, IsF, who we weren't expecting to put up such a good show, but they have had such close games against Mike+5, just narrowly missing out, literally by a single round from going through, is Backart on Medic, Fragger on Demoman, Entire and Nuas on the Soldiers, Entire the Pocket, Guz and Sneaks on Scouts, and we have gone live, Stark, let's go to the first mid.
Right, Mike's a little bit faster, but Snake Water mid doesn't really matter too much. I want to see, because these, oh good, because Mike's not focusing the enemy demo, and this is a key mistake I see a lot of demos making. They focus the enemy demo too hard and don't focus that top area, and Mike's given his team so much space up top that they're just not using it. It's like, he cleared out the entire top of the point and no one went up there, and now it's just down to team play. I can't even tell what's going on, and it seems Backart has already backed out.
Yeah, that was a really weird end situation to that mid. Backart and Gus were kind of in, along with Nuas, the Roma on top, but New was shooting some rockets over whilst he missed, actually, Nuki, who was hiding around that mid area, around the point really, and managed to pressure out Backart and Gus. Oh, Backart's actually used his Uber to defend here. The counter Uber coming out from Admirable just to save him. Evoke. Backart's going to be in a terrible position here. Does go down. His Demo Man goes down as well. This is not a good start to this first map, Gully Wash. The next map, if yeah, the next map is going to be Badlands. After that, the Decider Granary, but this is not a good start. Gus and Entire, the only ones left alive, a full wipe, and the first round on the scoreboard in this grand final is going to go to Mike+5 in a fairly decent time, Stark.
Yeah, in that Uber, Backart realised it had gone south. And he turned around and just saw Evoke standing tall, like blocking his pathway back out of the door, completely sealing up the door, and there was nowhere for back out to go. He's completely stuck. But what is this? Coming out from Fragger, jumps up to the top and then drops down.
Yeah, we saw him do that before actually, and it caught out a lot of opposing teams, but maybe more just due to the fact that they weren't expecting it than that it's an actually decent position to hold, because he sacrifices a lot of health for it. Blackout has gone down along with New. They've exchanged those frags for Crutcher and Rock, and now they really have to go aggressive onto Admirable. Admirable on 5 HP is still getting pressured by Gus, but does manage to dodge, and Gus does not pick up the frag entire though. I'm watching him and he's hiding behind the shed. He knows that Admirable's weak. Admirable's still only on 50 health. He does get spotted. He's off. He's forced the Uber charge. You get the feeling though that if he'd gone in earlier, they would have been able to secure the kill on Admirable rather than just popping out the Uber.
Yeah, I guess he realised that he'd have to jump through 2 scouts to try and get to Admirable, and just played the long con, and it worked out. Maybe it could have worked out better, but his team's not doing too badly. And what an air shot there from New. That was across the map.
And so high as well, and the person that he just hit it on there, Evoke, had just hit his own air shot to completely destroy someone, but they've completely sandwiched ISF up in this top area, just underneath where the old drop down used to be on Snakewater, and they have massacred. They've drawn them in like cattle to be slaughtered into this top right hand corner, and absolutely did massacre them. So Backart still waiting to respawn Admirable on 75% Uber.
Contrary to my hopes and dreams, air shots don't actually win games, so Admirable will have a huge advantage pushing this last, and Sneegs is setting up an interesting sentry placement. I think it actually shoots through the little hole into underneath, so if they push underneath, they could be, which they are doing, they could be in for a surprise on this sentry. But actually no, they're changing up to the top right area, and they Uber through the top, and I think the sentry is not going to be very useful.
No, that sentry's not really going to come out, and Frag at the first casualty. The sentry does actually pick up the frag onto Rock.
Wow.
And now Evoke getting destroyed with a reflect. Backart doing so well that normally they're playing the medic, but he's holding this with his team. They have no heals though. It's up to Nookie. Nookie's doing incredibly well, but he is going to eventually go down, and Backart really held that.
That was amazing.
That was so clutch. Backart went pyro instead of going medic. He did actually go down in the push, and this is another extension here from Snice and Gus and Fragga. Surely Rock is going to make them pay for it, and they just need to be getting back to last. They're going to be having to defend another uber disadvantage push. This time not such a vast disadvantage, only something like 40%, but that's still enough.
The advantage is going to be larger because Backart's going to obviously change out to Pyro again and try and get a few more reflect kills.
Well, it worked the first time, why not the second? Actually though, the cap time just coming off way too strong before anybody from ISF are even able to get onto the point. They have capped it off, and that's 2-0 with 5 minutes. This is a little bit quicker than the previous games that we saw on Badlands and Process in that upper bracket semi-final. ISF not quite putting out a strong showing, just getting a feel for the game perhaps.
Yeah, and not much to really say again on these early mid-fights. Not much damage being done. Oh, I say that, and Fragger takes about 3 stickies there from Mike. Decent damage, and no one's taking the high ground until I say that, and Mike+5 just storm over the top there, and this is looking like a really dominant mid-fight. They just need to clean up the frags, but actually they're having a bit of difficulty there on the left. Sneegs causing it being a bit of a nuisance, slowing down this push, but Backart should be able to get out.
Crutcher just helping clean up all of those frags with a reliable DM, and got 3, possibly even 4, I'm not sure, frags there. Fragger caught out on the low ground, just overextending. Nookie picks up that frag after Mike had done a lot of damage to him. They are going to have Uber to defend though, so this is not an Uber disadvantage for Backart, which is going to make a lovely change. They are going to have their demo man down though, and that's very important, as now Mike+5 are going to be going on this right hand side. They're not going to have anybody pressuring forwards or get on any sticky traps up or anything like that, so Admirable and Mike are able to walk so far in before they have to pop their Uber off. Mike+5 are all committed to the point. They've got Rock hanging about as well. The Uber is still up for Backart and Sneegs, and they have got the kill here. Unfortunately, the position is just perfect for Mike and 5 to come back in. They are losing players though. It looks like they're going to be able to hold on to this.
Backart is just hitting every single arrow in the world. And then he walks into about 3 pipes, eats a pipe, and then stands on 2 rollers. And Mike, oh, can he? Nah, he cannot. He can't clutch the round, but he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, he got the frag at the end there on Bacart with rollers, and then manages to hit a pipe onto the opposing Demoman fragger. Unfortunately, his attempt was stuffed by Gus, the respawning scout from IsF, and Sneak's going to be building a sentry in the same place. It really wasn't that useful last time, but as long as they can deny the shutter door, which Fragger is doing with his sticky trap, they should be golden for another defense.
I want to see what happens if Mike+5 push from underneath against this sentry, because it's going to be really difficult to see that sentry. Like if it can shoot through you see the little gaps in the kind of struts underneath the building. How are you going to shoot that? I mean, it's going to be quite a difficult shot. But I'm not actually sure if it does. I guess we'll have to see.
It's going to be interesting. Rock nearly got caught out by the sentry there and knew, but they were just building it up, and now they're spamming the sentry down. They can't quite manage to get it. They're just missing all of their shots, and Sneaks doesn't even really have to put much healing onto his sentry, but now Mike just spamming it down, and he is... No, surely he's going to be able to kill it. Oh, he trades his own life for it. This is an opportunity.
Trade. No, Sneak is building another one.
Oh no, don't build another one. This is your opportunity, a golden opportunity to either throw some people in to try and force the Uber out of Admirable, or even push.
They took away his baby.
Yeah, he's determined to build up another sentry gun in the same place. Yeah, in exactly the same place. And it's not that bad if the Demoman from Mike has to commit that far in order to spam the sentry down. Then that's a fairly decent trade. But in my opinion, they should have been pushing off that when Mike committed.
Yeah, I'm curious if Mike+5 push in from the right shutter door. They don't have a pocket on ISF's side, so they should be able to get a really good Uber trade and then take down the sentry afterwards and get a good push. But
that will be interesting. I wonder whether
they're content to just sit there.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's something that they've thought of at the moment. They just seem very preoccupied with just taking down that sentry gun before they even try and push. That just seems to be the focus of all of their efforts at the moment. They're quite content to sit in this advantageous position, tick the time down, and make sure they execute a good push into Snakewater Last. Snakewater Last, of course, phenomenally notorious as a difficult last to push, just because it's so open, really. It's not particularly that difficult, but Uber v Uber, you do want a good advantage to be able to push into it. I'm surprised we haven't seen Nucky really running a sniper or something like that. And now
maybe we should link channels and see what Mike+5 are actually thinking.
That is a very good idea.
Demo's taking the barrels in lobby.
I think it's blown, right? I need to go for ammo.
You wanna go under?
Nothing on the barrel. And you're pushing left side.
We're backed out of lobby, guys. We're gonna go under.
Alright, we're gonna do a 3-man push under. I don't want anyone else dying when we push in, okay? We're just gonna go in, try and force them and get out. Yeah. And try and get the sentry, maybe.
Can you go in with both scouts? Probably easier.
Against the sentry?
left, guys. It's beginning in the lobby.
Oh, I'll go with you then. I'll go with you.
I'm gonna Uber early, okay?
Yeah.
Just back out as soon as they pop.
Wow, they have stickies.
Yeah. Med. Should've. No. That's fine. On a medic, bottom on a medic.
Oh my god, what an incredible play there from Gus. He was absolutely so patient, just waiting at that bottom area. I thought he would have got out, but he didn't. He decides not to. Rock actually going for the backup at the moment, but that whole area is going to be denied by the sentry. Sneaks doesn't even need to take this fight. Ah, that's poor by Sneaks.
Oh look, it took so long. Oh no.
He just got decimated, Rock. He had nowhere to go, and the sentry destroys him. But yeah, that was such a terrible push by them. Evoke got killed by the stickies, then Mike got killed at the end after not being able to force. And a big Uber advantage here coming out from Admirable simply because Bacart popped so long afterwards. Bacart's actually going to get picked off by Mike as they attempt to push in from Kitchen. This has got to signal the aggression forwards. They have managed to pop the Uber out of Admirable, or rather Admirable decides to use a free Uber charge because Bacart's gone down just to secure the frags, but he's lost the flank. Everybody who wasn't with him has died. Crutchy, Rock and Nucky all going down here to IsF. And despite the fact that they are 2-0 up. Oh, Guz is in!
I think he's picked up 4 frags by himself, just running amok on the flank. And just winning all these 1v1s, completely won his mid team there. And
yeah,
Admirable has the advantage, but if I were on the side of ISF, I'd be pushing here. I mean, they've got Uber disadvantage, but Uber disadvantage is meaningless if you don't have the Uber yet. And look, they're pushing through, but N5 goes down and this fragger, and this is done disastrously wrong. Almost like it does pick up an arrow frag onto Rocky, and actually Mike goes too aggressive and gets picked off by New. Brilliant wherewithal by New there to turn around and realise Mike had overextended.
Yeah, that's a good situation to be in, but both teams have dropped 2 players, including their demo man. Mike is going to be the player with a slightly slower respawn, and unfortunately for ISF, they're not really able to push off that pick advantage because they do have an Uber disadvantage. But fortunately for them, on the other hand, Admirable and his team aren't able to push with their Uber disadvantage because they have a player disadvantage. So it has kind of equalized out here. Rock, an early pick. He does seem to be overextended a little bit, but he did manage to make it pay off last time he did that with 2 picks. So possibly a worthy trade to a high risk, high reward plays, and they seem to be paying off half of the time at least for Rock.
New looks like he wants to go for a sack here. But he's playing really aggressively. If he jumped off the left wall here, he could actually force it. But he's... Nah, the scouts have come back, there's no chance now. And I don't know what they're doing, they're just kind of playing around, waiting, but Goz actually gets picked off here. So that will stall out the push, and actually Sneeze goes down. So now there's no scouts on the side of ISF, and now they've got to panic because New's gone down, 0 flank whatsoever. And Admirable Zuba gets forced off, but Crochet gets dropped by Admirable. So
they're going to get both of their scouts. Yeah, they're going to get both of their scout spawns in 1 second though. Sneaks and Guz both respawning because they've taken so long to deal with that, and they're going to be perfectly planned to come in after this Uber. They have come in, but where's the combo? Oh, now Fragger comes in, but they need some soldiers in there. They need New in the fray. New now bombing in, does get the frag onto Rock. Fragger's going to be desperately trying to frag Nucky and Evoke. Oh, New just doing so much work, jumping around here, getting the frags left, right and centre. It's 3v3, the same class is up. They have control of middle though, ISF, and they're going to be streaming forwards. Slight Uber advantage, but nothing to write home about. And Nucky is going to be backing off towards his medic, as ISF are just able to get a lot of cap time on this point for starters, and possibly going to be able to take it off as Mike dropped down to only 40 health at some point. He's going to have to back off, and they're going to be able to pick up second.
Yeah, it was well played by Nucky there to get his medic out. He kind of went aggressive just to slow down the ISF team so Admirable could make it out of there. So it won't be so bad for Mike+5, as they will have the Uber to defend last. And with 15 minutes left and 2-0 on the scoreboard, this game is definitely very close so far.
It is, yes, and this is the point though at which the game starts to slow down, as the team is really unwilling to push last without some kind of pick. Nucky's going to be running a defensive sniper, as the entirety of Mike+5 are going to be holding on the opposite side to the one that's normally held, just on that patio underneath the house on the right hand side from the defender's perspective, instead of holding near the shutter or near the point on the left. That might allow them into the right hand side for free if they manage to pressure Crochet away, but now that Admirable and Mike have shifted their attention over to the other side, they've lost a bit of an opportunity to get in for free on that right hand side. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here. It looks like they are just going to try and bomb their soldier in, but he doesn't manage to get anything done. He knew after the first failed rocket jump that that wasn't going to go well, but just decided to commit to it anyway. That one-man sack, really not enough.
Yeah, it's so difficult to suicide into this last, because you're seen from so far away that the medic can just position himself accordingly, because the point is so big. And actually, we're going to have New change off to sniper here. I don't think I've seen him snipe so far.
No, I haven't at all throughout this tournament. I'm fairly sure he's stuck onto that Roma roll. He decides not to open the door for his scouts or someone like that to go sniper, which is pretty interesting that he himself decides to go it. I guess once they get this pick, they really want to commit both scouts to the push. Crochet is actually hanging around and might be able to get onto this sniper. I don't think they'd seen him at all, so if Crochet had just bided his time there, he could well have gotten himself a sniper pick, but now New has rotated up top and is going to be still looking for the elusive pick to push with.
Yeah, I think Nuki might be challenging here, so he might be able to get a sniper pick, and Nuki comes out on top. It's a bit risky though from Nuki to be challenging, because if you win that fight, then you've won nothing pretty much. You can't really push off that. But if you lose, the enemy team has a chance to make a successful push.
Although actually it looks like with that one pick advantage, they really want to be getting aggressive. Evoke and Mike
Nuki's behind.
sticking up that lobby. Oh,
Nuki's
where is
behind.
Nuki?
He's going to be. Oh, both of them are behind. Both Nuki and Rock got behind there, and they're both going to die, I think. Oh no,
But
Nuki.
they have popped the Uber off out of Backart, so he's realised that that entire situation is pretty bad. He's hightailing it out of there. They know that they need to get the Uber out of Admirable as they push out and try and take this second point. But I don't think they've assigned a player to do it yet. New looks like he's hiding in that cheese area. Maybe he's going to be the man to pop off Admirable. Possibly an Admirable drop coming up right here. This is a tense situation for all fans of the Irish potato.
New's actually running the shotgun, which is not that common on the Roma, and it looks like actually Mike+5 are pushing from this far right side.
Look at the sniper goes down to rollers. And Admirable doesn't want to push out, feels like it's not a good enough position, and IsF are holding it too strongly. So IsF just allowed to get their Uber up again, so a free Uber pop. And now they use the Uber in aggressively to try and get it out of Admirable, possibly to repush when Ubers are not a factor. One of the soldiers did go behind there as well. Entire gets a pick on Rock, but they do lose their demo man. News in on the right hand side. A big air shot coming out there, and he's completely denied. Gus as well looks like he's going to go down to Nuki. Entire desperately trying to get on the point, but only Backout remains. Not a great push from them.
Now, I'm not really sure why they continued going even after Fragger had gone down with very little damage to say about his death. I mean, it seemed they felt like they'd been waiting so long, they just went, fuck it, we'll go. Whatever happens, happens. And they lost second because of it, and now they've got a disadvantage.
Yeah, and it's a sizable one at that. 55% advantage for Admirable as he moves his team through the saw room, or should be in a few moments as soon as he gets his Uber, either through saw room or over grass as soon as they decide which way they want to push this. But push it they should. It looks like they're going over grass towards the choke, and Backart and Fragger holding it. Sawmill fairly aggressively. Now they back off as they realise that Admirable is going to be up to his Uber.
No.
They're going taking this through kitchen.
Goes forces off the Uber and gets behind, and he should be able to get this scout dead. Yeah, him and New finish off the scout, and then there's a second scout and grass is being taken down as well. And this is going to be a really difficult situation.
He might pick up Croce as well. Oh no, Croce with some nice rockets actually does pick up the frag onto Guz. It was a great opportunity for Guz to pick up a triple kill there, but he doesn't quite manage it. And now Evoke coming in, takes out the medic of Backart, and Sneaks is going to go down as well to Croce. So Croce picking up frags onto both of the scouts there.
Guz was hiding behind the little stove in the kitchen.
Cooking himself up a snack, waiting
like
for the Uber.
A head resting on the stove, and Admirable, I think it was Evoke and Mike just pushed through and don't even notice him.
Just a little scout cooking on the stove, nothing to see here, says Guz. He is currently running the sniper rifle though, or running the sniper, and he is going to be trying to negate the huge advantage that Admirable has before they manage to get into last and use it. But he is going to go down to the stickies of Mike, and the Uber charge is going to come up from Admirable. So unless they can... No, it doesn't look like anybody's in position to force it out of them on second. They do have a 2-pick advantage as well, so they should be going in. They should have already been in, really. They are coming through the bottom area now, though, Stark.
Yeah, and Fragger just realises, no, this isn't for me, and flies across the map. And air shots galore, none of them hit. And it should be simple enough to pick up new falls, and it's an easy last cap. And with 9 minutes remaining, it's still possible, but IsF need to get the finger out and start winning some of these middles more convincingly.
Yeah, it's looking less likely by the second as the timer ticks down and the rounds tick up for Mike and the rest of his posse. They're going to be on mid at the moment. I'm going to be watching Fragger and his scout pair as they aggress across the right hand side. There's actually 2 of them that have gone through kitchen in an attempt to make something happen, but Mike getting a pick onto Entire. Fragger goes down, but they do trade for Admirable. A brace of frags coming up here. Everybody seems to have swapped. Just frags happening all over the place. The lone survivors, Rock and Mike.
Yeah, it was down to Fragger there. Fragger was playing the role where he just walks across the point and does as much damage before he dies. And if he'd hit 2 more pipes, that would have been like a really convincing victory for ISF, because the entirety of Mike+5 were all just like in the same place. If his pipes had connected, they would have all taken 200 each. Unfortunately, not working out for them.
Admirable is going to be running the Kritzkrieg. They're going to have a sizable advantage to push this with. So all eyes on the main man, Mike, as he is going to be taking this Kritzkrieg charge most likely. It looks like they're moving over to the sawmill area or possibly window, yeah. Are they going to be critzing from window? They're going to drop down to grass. This is going to be interesting to see what they manage it with.
Soldier.
What, sorry?
Mike's wasting all his stickies on that soldier on grass.
Oh, I see, yeah. He's just possibly... Oh, the Kritzkrieg is going to come out. They've used it from this sawmill area. They haven't got any frags with it at all. No damage even coming out. Fragger is caught in a bad situation though, and they do pick up a frag onto Sneegs as well. The counter Uber coming out, they're not going to have enough time to block this, and because they are 2 down, it is very possible that people might get behind. Yeah, people going behind here, but they are caught. New on the bottom catches both of them. Nucky and Rock, both of the scouts dying to the roaming soldier from ISF, and now Admirable and Mike are going to get caught up as well. So a nice defense there. I didn't think that Uber charge was going to work out very well for them. I thought they might get wrapped around and collapsed upon, but they managed to make it work.
Yeah, really well played by New there. He was just waiting for them. He wasn't pushing out. He was waiting for the inevitable back cap attempt, and he just crushed them. Like the 2 scouts trying to push through under against the soldier. And is that a sniper I see? Yeah, Nucky is in falling back to second now. He missed his initial shot, and he's going to be sitting really passively, just trying to make them force as they come in. Is his intention.
They do manage to pick up CP3, that middle point, and as you said, Nucky on the sniper, and not Admirable, Bakar is going to have his Uber up momentarily. They're moving across this grass area. The sniper's just inches away from getting that crucial pick. Fragger's actually disconnected from the rest of them, and Crochet looks like he wants to get aggressive on him. Fragger's going to drop down and do a fair amount of damage though, and now Crochet's looking like the one that's been isolated. He's on 50 health. And meantime, in the other part of the map, Nucky has gone down in the cheese area. Admirable's finally got his Uber charge up, but with 3 down, there's a decent opportunity to push or possibly just get the Uber charge out of Admirable. Now would be an opportunity. Oh!
The double scout sticky trap.
Yeah, but it was 2 different places. It was on the barrel and on the top right, and he dead because I think it was Gus was running through the top right one and accidentally caught Sneegs in lobby as well. So super lucky, but what a nice play with that sticky trap from Mike.
Yeah, and Fragger takes out a pick on a scout, which is important, because if they want to push this second, they're going to need to get cap time, but he overstays his welcome and gets picked off by the other scout, Nucky. And it looks like ISF want to fight this, and with 5 minutes to go, they really need to do well in this fight. And it helps that Crochet is still staying on last, but no, ISF are just going to back out.
Yeah, ISF unable to make anything happen during that Uber fight. Without their demo man, without their Roman soldier, they were not in a position to fight it. However, Mike is down at the moment. No demo man on the field. They really need to be streaming forwards, as you say. 4.5 minutes remaining, and they need to pick up 3 rounds. It's a tough call already. So they are going to be moving forwards now. They've heard our cries. Fragger's moving forwards, attached to Bakar by the heel beam. He's being supported by his soldiers. And, Crochet coming in with a brilliant flank, and Mike as well using his distraction to lay down a carpet of stickies, picking up tons of players. Now everybody on ISF dying apart from Sneegs. Sneegs possibly going for the back cap. He's going to be taking a 1v1 with Nucky on that bottom area. He looks like he's getting the worst end of it. He is going to die. DM from Nucky just a little bit too strong for him in that 1v1 situation. And now it's an incredibly tough ask from ISF. They have 3.5 minutes remaining in order to get 3 rounds, and Admirable already has his Uber charge up. They need a famed Admirable drop, and then they just need to roll for 3 minutes. And I don't know whether they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, maybe they really can't give up the second point. And Mike goes down to a sticky trap from Fragger, and here comes the bomb in, and Marvel's going to Uber here, but it's a really, really bad Uber. And New just kind of rocket jumps to his death. And they need to find the frags here to ISF, and Sneegs gets Rocky down, and Guz is doing a lot of damage onto this combo. and it looks like they're going to be able to push onto mid with it, all this damage and all these frags.
And back out down to 31 health there, does retain his Uber charge, not popping it off for any measly damage like that. So he is going to be going forwards with the rest of his team. They have a huge Uber advantage, but the question is, can they use it in time, and can they use it effectively enough to pick up this round within the next minute? That is exactly what they need to do if they want any chance of staying in this and taking it to a golden cap. If Uck's going to be jumping forwards, he is going to get the force out of Backart. He is going to escape through the bottom area as well. Everybody on IsF so low, needing to be saved here, and Frag is going to go down as well.
Oh, Marble goes down. He must have been on like 80% there, and Nookie goes down on second. This is going to be a second point, and only Evoke to defend the last. And the spawners, there's one spawner coming in 1 second, and the rest are all on 10 seconds.
It's so possible.
An easy last point with 2 minutes 20. Just, I want to see them do the same mid fight they did last time, but only this time Fragger needs to hit all his pipes.
Yeah, they need to come out with something clutch to pick up the next 2 rounds in under a minute, or just about a minute actually each. So it is mathematically possible, but they need to be absolutely rolling. Yeah, Frag is doing the jump, so he gets up on the top area. He does have similar health to Mike. He hasn't really done much there.
Yeah, here we go. They're just streaming forward. Fragger doesn't care about the person behind. He's just throwing his pipes out. Didn't connect with anything, and nah, the dream's dead.
Yeah, they did have to play really aggressively there, though. It looks bad because they wiped, but they were forced into playing that aggressively just by the fact that they have to play the clock. The time is running down. They need that kind of aggressive play because that's the kind of play that rewards you with a wipe, rather than playing passively, in which case you only manage to force the enemy out or just get a few picks, something like that. Unfortunately, not quite going ISF's way on this first map. The score at the moment 3-1. It might change by the time we get to the end, but we are going to be going to Badlands as our second map. The Ubers have come in. Mike so high in the air. An air shot coming out. A double air shot from Entire to destroy Mike as he was Ubered. No longer. He gets absolutely rinsed. The sentry actually picks up Rock. Is going to be shooting at Evoke in midair as well. Oh, Evoke manages to take down the sentry while he's flying through the air. But a nice defense there by basically Entire's air shot. I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, there's not enough time for ISF to win, but there's still time for them to get some sick clips to boost their morale.
Exactly.
Prote's going in. He wants to jump. This could be another air shot. No.
Air shots coming out left, right, and center here, and everything's kind of broken down into a bit of a scrappy fight as we do reach the dead time of the map. Only 20 seconds remaining. So as I say, we will be going to Badlands. That is our second map. Hopefully ISF can do better on that. They had a really close game on Badlands against Mike+5 before. Mike+5 only managing to take it 1-0 after 30 minutes, and it was so back and forth. Opportunities for ISF to come out on top all the time. There we go, it's official. The score 3-1. Mike+5 taking the first map, CP Snakewater.
Look at Fragger and Mike on the logs. They had a reversed kind of stats. Mike going 20 for 12 and Fragger going for 12 for 20, doing 4k less damage.
Yeah, so, not an impressive game from Fragger particularly.
Yeah, it seemed he was going... Although Mike did get a fair few more heals, it's obviously 4k damage is a substantial amount of damage for like a kind of disparity in your demos, and it kind of showed, especially Nookie going second damaging, going 7.6k, 25 for 13.
Yeah, he had an absolute hell of a game as well. Did play a little bit of sniper, but that doesn't really factor into it at all. That was only just to break up one little stalemate, something like that. The majority of his damage and frags all really coming out on the scout class, in which he bossed the opposing scouts of Guz and Sneegs. Rock, though not particularly having the best game of his life, only 130 damage per minute coming out from the Italian scout, going 15 for 18 as well. Croce on the bottom of that scoreboard at the same time, and I did feel like the flank were a vulnerability, and if the combo drops the ball, I don't know whether the flank are going to be able to pick it up.
Just as an aside, you see Guz's avatar. Is that the same as your desktop background?
Yes, it is. What an odd point to bring up in the middle of the cast.
I just realised.
Yes, of course you recognise that from LANs and things when you've been over to my house before we went to Lithuania, etc. Yes, that's the picture I have as my desktop background. What a useful piece of trivia for you all on the stream there.
Excellent, now you all know.
Yeah, now you all possess that that awful piece of trivia as well that you can bring up to your friends and family, impress them all with that lovely fact.
Well, it's just the next question after, what's your centimeters per 360? What mouse do you use? What grip do you use? What's your desktop wallpaper?
Yeah, of course. So now I can just say, go have a look at Guz's avatar.